Alrighty. So, is your recording going, Brian?
Yes.
Good. Because you're doing the last time. Go.
Oh, shit. Okay, so there's a problem with that.
You don't remember?
I mean, I kind of remember because nothing happened. So,
True.
Last time, we basically just kind of hung out around where we've had our fight at the end of last session for about 90% of the session's run time. So time in universe was basically running in slow motion because we kept getting sidetracked with jokes and off-topic ramblings. We discovered that the fungal dipshit Norvipal.
Neurological.
He could just feign death and then turn his life back on again, seemingly at will. So, little creepy, snarky little shit fuck that we tied upside down to a tree as a gag, and he self-resurrected and started egging Silver on. There was some other
refused to die because of
just
bullshit mechanics.
Just a lot of hit points.
No, what it is like he was a level 20 druid, right?
Yep.
Okay, level truly unlimited wild shape, and then you got spores where it's like you can expend a wild shape in order to gain health back.
Yep.
So functionally immortal. So
the only way to kill him is to either keep the magical collar on him and tie him to a brick and put him in a river, or take him over to a cliff, throw him off,
or just do enough damage to him in a single round that he doesn't have a chance to heal.
Let's go try to do over 200 damage in one attack or round.
Bring in the locusts and cast, animal shapes, and there you go. But anyway.
To be fair, if you dealt more than 80 damage in a single turn, because that's what his max temp HP was, if you dealt more than 80 damage in a single turn with enough people attacking, which is possible with your Droop, Cad, good God.
Don't rule me out.
True, Skunk with sneak attack, that could be fun. And Silver can actually hit. I mean, all of you can hit really freaking hard. If everybody was attacking him, you could easily do over 80 damage in a turn. And if you did that, you got him over his 80 temp, you're hitting his actual health, he would eventually die. Not to mention the fact that if it was an actual combat scenario, he'd have to be spending his attack that turn to re-up his 80 health. So
anyway, back to the recap.
Yes, sorry.
That's exactly what kept waylaying us last time, is getting caught up in the technicals and the numbers. Anyway, eventually we Silver just kind of got sick and tired of dealing with this guy, summoned a mount, threw his ass on it, and then rode off for town without talking to the rest of us. So we kind of had to trail behind a little ways. But I believe where last we left off, we had arrived in town, and Silver had dropped that guy off with the guards, including like a magic suppression thing so that he can't do things, because Norvid's wanted for all of the awful things. And I believe where last we left off, Silver was fucking off to find a bar to drown her frustrations in while the rest of us were just starting to show up.
She was following the guards to make sure justice was dealt. So,
right.
If you lose track of her, she's somewhere.
Now, specifically, I had said that Silver was going on ahead, and she was going to get to town first. She made it to town. The rest of the party did not. Not quite.
Not yet, at least.
At the end of session.
They were coming up to the town.
They were getting pretty close, yes. But I'm actually going to backtrack it a tad because I'm going to do shenanigans with the actual party at minus Silver as she's going onwards, because I'm a horrible DM like that. But anyway, I wanted specifics as to how the rest of the party was traveling to follow Silver. I seem to recall it was like Bjorn had summoned Rupert to do Find Steed, to try to keep up, and then Cad was carrying the Gith, from before, who you guys had continued to keep bound up and whatnot. And I believe, was he actually gagged? I don't think he was gagged. The Gith, specifically.
I just kind of put a pillow on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just tied up.
Just tied up and pillow smothered temporarily. And then, which, oh yeah, that's right, because Cad did the whole pick up pillow. Yeah, you're you, put pillow back down.
Yep.
And then Yong and Oak were following behind, and I think Skunk was like in the back or bringing up the rear in that.
Yeah.
So is Bjorn going to try to keep pace and go forward ahead, or is he going to try to stay back to make sure he can keep an eye on the rest of the group? Granted, going at full tilt, Cad and Rupert are probably about the same speed. Because I feel like an elk's run speed is 50. Let me double check that. Because Rupert's an elk, right? Specifically?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So elk and elephant are the same speed.
That seems legit.
Right? And then, I mean, theoretically speaking, because Rogue, and Monk, in the case of Yong, Oak is going to be the slowest of the group at the normal speed of 30. But the thing about that is, while traveling, how is Cad carrying the Gith?
He's bound but not gagged, has a pillow over his head even though I'm carrying him. Is that
Like, I imagine the pillow probably went away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine that Cad is either carrying him like some sort of piggyback or on his head or some such. I don't know.
I like the idea of it being a bridal carry.
That'd be funny.
Well, I was thinking over a shoulder kind of thing, but him being sort of a sneaky person, I probably want to keep him where I can see him. So probably in front of me. Like I'm carrying a load in front of me.
Yeah. So something akin to a yeah, okay. I can see that. Also, what was done with Mara when you guys were leaving camp? Did anyone try to talk to her or do anything else with her? Or was she just allowed to leave as she wishes?
And Bjorn's not going to stop her from leaving if she wants to leave. So,
It was
where
last...
she goes is...
it was basically last said that she was going to find her way back to Rydell and get in touch with Mudslide. So, if no one stops her, she's basically going to, when everyone breaks camp and is bolting for town, dealing with Norvid and whatever else, she's just going to be like, yoink, and I'm going to go where I was supposed to go, i.e. Rydell. You're making your way to town. Yes, that. Mara has left. She's going her own way and doing what she needs to do and all that fun stuff. And Cad, you are carrying a bound Gith person in the manner described there. As you were actually pretty close to where you're getting into town itself, he is going to just vanish out of your arms.
Oh no!
He threw an ender pearl before he left, and he just got close enough it spawned in.
Motherfucker.
Did he use a spell?
I was just playing Minecraft before this. So that reference lands. Just like Pearl.
He did not use a spell. No, he uses an ability. An ability that mimics a spell, but not a spell. Okay.
Get Yankee against Sinky.
He is
Zerai.
Gith Zerai, specifically. His ability comes from his class, not from his race. But anyway, so he is going to vanish from your arms, Cad, and technically the bounds in which we're holding him also drop with like around you because they fell too. Just everything, just.
Well, doesn't that mean his clothes are left behind too?
No, his clothes go with him.
So why doesn't the bounce go with him?
Because he didn't consider the bounds to be his personal property.
Bingo. So, what are we going to do with that party who can see this happening?
Where'd he go? I'm gonna look around and see if he reappears anywhere nearby.
Roll perception. Person who can roll humongous perception.
Nat 20, 31.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Loot that body.
Loot that motherfucker!
Anyway, so yes, perception of 31 of huge. Good God. You will see him. And he is currently about 60 paces away, running away from where you currently are. Yes, horizon.
I will point him out. Oh, there he is.
I would like to ride him down.
Run and tackle him.
Oh, he's getting so fucked. He's got an elephant and an elk coming at him.
All right.
Trampled to death.
Shouldn't have ran.
I mean, yeah. So,
I can go fast. Just saying.
you can go fast, yes. Especially if you're choosing to specifically run to get to him. Granted,
How fast is Rupert's dash?
Rupert has a running speed, has a normal speed of 50. Therefore, if he chooses to run, he could go technically 100.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
I'm
Dad?
gonna cast Fly
So
on my.
he is going to he's going to be 60 paces away. You guys are going to charge for him both with Rupert and with Cad. Oak and Young are also going to follow to try to keep up. And Skunk is casting Fly on himself.
Yep, but I'm faster when I'm flying than I am on foot.
So yeah. I mean, we could turn it into a turn order here, theoretically.
Might as well.
So
I wish you guys good luck.
let's say that all of those things were happening at the beginning of the
Surprise round.
basically, yes. It would be you guys cannot be surprised via ambush, but his surprise round would be his running. So let's do a turn order thing. Who rolled Skunk rolled the 21 or 24? Yeah.
Already applied it.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. So I'm just going to do this way because it's faster and easier. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'm not. Okay. And Cad can roll for his as well.
Rolling which?
Initiative.
Oh. I have an icon.
You do have an icon.
And boop.
I am currently on Oak, so boop. Oh, lovely. Good job, Oak. And then a Young. Anyway, so we do Young. Am I clicked on Young? Make sure I am clicked on Young. Boop. Slightly better. And then your initiative is garbage, sir. Boop.
It's not that bad.
I meant the Gith. Okay, so 14. Descending. Or no, descending order. Thank you. There we go. Okay, Skunk, you are flying. You have first turn, go.
Alrighty, so my flying speed is 50. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I can bonus action to sprint. Yes. Does that apply to fly speed?
Uh,
I think we said I was sprinting in the air.
yeah.
All right. In that case, I will cunning action a dash to fly 100 feet. Does that get me to catch up with him?
Yeah, pretty easily.
Alrighty. And let's see here. I have my bow and arrow out. I'm going to draw an arrow back, and I'm going to call down, "Come on, man. We went through a lot of effort not to kill you. Please don't mess it up."
Okay.
Does he respond to that at all? Do I need to make a roll? I'm basically politely asking, "Stop resisting."
Right, I got that. Sure, roll persuasion.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, no response at all.
If he does not seem swayed, then I will shoot at him. That's a 28 to hit.
Which will definitely hit.
Alright. I sadly do not get sneak attack damage with this. Either way, that's 11 points of damage. I am trying not to kill him, just knock him over or something.
Shoot him in the ass. Probably watching someone run when they have a wound in their ass.
Reminds me of the half-assed
They're
bandit.
going half speed.
Anyway. So, you were striking with,
It was bow and arrow, non-lethal intent.
yes.
Which is basically you shoot an arrow and say sorry.
I shoot an arrow and aim at a spot that won't kill him if I hit.
Like his foot.
Or his ass.
Or his thigh.
Well, no,
No.
with the thigh, you can actually hit a major artery.
Yeah,
What about his
femoral's in
pelvis?
there. Lots.
Huh?
Lots of blood vessels in there.
Okay, I'll just go for a shin then.
Alright,
You might be okay with that.
Or better yet, his knee. I'll bring the joke forward.
Yes. There
Alright,
you go.
End his adventuring days right here.
okay.
Send him to Whiterun.
Hey, at least he'll
Push
have
him,
a steady
Cad.
job as a guard, right?
Right?
Cad.
They make a gold a day.
Squish him.
So the map is not necessarily representative of things.
No.
Okay,
Just here for easy turn order.
Yep.
cool.
His
So-
imagination.
Uh-huh.
So did the arrow actually hit him in the knee?
Yes, well, I assume it did with a 28, so yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's the 11 points of damage I rolled, so.
Yep, I got it.
So I guess I charge at him and try and knock him to the ground, possibly with myself on top of him.
That would be a shove, is what that would be.
How far away is he? He's still a decent distance that I can get a run and go.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get a run and go.
All right. So what would the shove be? A strength check?
Yep.
Strength check, but not save.
It is essentially it's
It's like an attack roll.
yeah, it is would shove be technically a contested athletics or something?
There are rules for that.
Yeah, there are. Hold on. Blah blah blah. You make a strength athletics check contested by the target's athletics or acrobatics. So yes. It is, as I thought it was, it is a attack action type thing, and it is athletics versus his athletics or acrobatics.
So athletics.
Yep.
And I'm recklessly charging and raging and
I mean, if you want to be raging, sure.
sure. He is going down to the ground and roar. That was Arcana. That's
Good job.
supposed to be a plus, that's supposed to be a +9, not a +3. So 29.
Yes. Okay. So 20.
And as I zip past whoever's in between on the sidelines, it's like,
No, not quite. There's
Oh.
there's not anybody right beside you anyway. Although
wouldn't know.
you could do that right under where Skunk is, because Skunk is flying. So
Okay.
yes.
Come here's me say, "Back my way."
Yes. Well, I'm going to roll it, but it wouldn't do him any good because he can't beat a 29. Grr. Yeah, no. So
Recklessly charging. Does that give him advantage?
no, that's not how that would work. Sorry. That would be funny, but that's not how that would work. So you are charging, you are shoving. You have now effectively knocked him prone. Since
With myself on top.
okay, so you're going prone down with him to pin him.
Yep, he pinned.
And so let me make sure that's not something completely different. I mean, I guess it technically is. You could treat it as a grapple, and then it's the same basic thing. It's just now you have him pinned to the ground. But regardless, yes, he is now trapped. Hooray!
Oh, yay!
Again.
Gotcha, bitch.
Bjorn, what you doing?
Well, I was just gonna run him over, but it seems like he's handled for the time being. Bjorn will ride up, dismount Rupert, and draw his sword to make it clear that if there's any further trouble, actions and consequences, my guy. And then I'll hold my action until he does something. If he does anything threatening, I'll give him a whack over the head.
Alrighty. So you're basically holding an action in case he does something.
Yep.
Okay. His dex is 0, so Yang goes first. Plus Yang is in player party. So,
Player party.
yes. She is basically she's gonna do the same thing as Bjorn. She's just gonna hold her attack in case he tries to do something to get away. At which point, you can only do that fun ability to get out of binds once. Although, cool. He's not gagged in any way. He's just bound, well, pinned.
When he teleported out of the bindings as well.
He didn't teleport, actually.
But he's no longer bound at all.
Right. He is no longer bound at the moment, other than being pinned. He is technically bound now. It's just by you instead of by binds.
Yep.
But he is not
His current
gagged.
bindings have a lot of HP.
But he is not gagged in any way. So, huzzah. He is going to make use of verbal components for a spell because he is not gagged, nor is he like any kind of magic collared.
Three actions: smack him in the back of the head, make him faceplant.
Ha, funny.
Oh.
I mean, you could. You did have You do have a second attack. The grapple only replaces one of them. If you wanted to attack him, you still could technically.
Like push his head down into the dirt or the snow.
You could, yeah. It would be like an unarmed strike kind of a thing, but yeah.
He goes and starts chanting something that sounds otherworldly.
I mean, yeah, technically. Which,
And
those who are around him wanting to see him do something crazy would also get the ability to do something about that, because he's totally going to do something crazy.
I mean, I feel like that constitutes something threatening, right?
Probably.
I'm gonna whack. All right, he's taking the pommel to the skull, is what he's doing.
Alright, so roll your attack roll. You get advantage because he's pinned.
Hell yeah, I love that.
I also did.
I saw that, yeah. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8. calculator because I'm being bad at math currently.
8 plus 8 is 16.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's cool. Fun. So here's a fun thing. He's pinned. She has advantage. She was holding her attack too. Yang. Bah! And because she has advantage, and she is rogue, she's sneak attack. 14.
7 piercing and 7 right now.
Yes. You've been over this. You've been over this. It's fine.
I've said I don't even remember.
Neither do I.
You say that literally every time I do her attack like that.
Does he?
Ryan and I don't recall.
David, do you have memory of this?
No.
Yay!
Anyway, it's fine. 3d6. Hey, that's easy math. Hooray. And then cool. Okay, so sneak attack, bop. He's stunned. So he starts to do his verbal components to get away. You guys were waiting for him to do something crazy. Him chanting something magic, it's something crazy. Bah, bah, bah. And he's nothing for his turn. Meanwhile, Oak is very slowly trying to catch up. He's the slowest of the group, so he just gets here. Skunk.
Okay, Skunk is going to just let out a growl of frustration, fly down, put away the bow, pull out the sword, and just start he's gonna get down, lift up the pommel, and just start hitting the guy with it. It's like, I told you, stupid.
Yeah, pretty much that. Pretty much that.
So
yep.
It's like advantage 3 times over at this point.
Easily.
27 hits.
Twice, even. Look at that.
Yeah. So we got that for damage, as I'm just trying to knock him out by repeatedly cudgeling him with my pommel.
3 of your 6s were not 6s. How dare you?
Damn, yeah, no, that was close shit.
Oh, right.
And I rolled a
4 6s, 3 5s.
And I rolled a 1 on my sword damage. Still came out to a fucking 8.
Good God, Skunk, you hit like a truck.
I am the tiny murder machine. We have established this a long time ago.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
That's 47 points of damage.
Yeah, I got it.
No, hold on. 46. 46? 46.
46.
No?
47.
47.
47. You're right the first time.
Brain damage.
Pretty much.
I mean, non-lethal concussions to the head repeatedly could lead to non-lethal brain damage. Yes.
All right, Cad, what you doing with your turn?
Against killing, but you're totally fine with traumatic brain injury. So says Robin to Batman.
So I'm still pinning him down.
You are, yes.
Can I ready in action in case he decides to do something stupid again?
I mean, you could. He's also currently stunned, so
How long does the stun last?
until the end of Yong's next turn.
See, I don't know that.
You don't technically.
So, yeah. I guess I'll just sort of grunt at him and just say, stay down. And ready in action to pop him if I need to.
Okay. Bjorn.
As far as Bjorn is concerned, this man has had his chance. So he's on Team Pommel.
That gif in chat is becoming very true.
Precisely. Yes.
Just beating up this poor bastard.
11 damage on my first attack.
Yep.
Action economy, man.
Right.
And there's 7 more for you. Bang, bang.
Okay. Alright, well, monks are annoying, especially when they, do their stunning strike on not their turn. So, Young, bop.
Oh no!
Well then, that's great.
This man is never going to emotionally recover from this.
He tried to escape 5 relatively high level, high experience, armed and irritated adventurers, and only got a 60-foot lead. This dumb bitch.
Well then, so
Oh god.
I'm gonna roll the damage, but I don't have to. But
Is he out?
I'm just gonna roll the damage anyway. Good God. Yeah, okay.
I think it's safe to say he out.
Yeah, he's out. He took, let's see, what is that? 25, 35, 46, 45. He took 45 damage on a turn he has 2. His health was currently at 2. So, yeah. He is unconscious again. Hooray.
He won't be trying that again.
Which,
Skunk is going to stand up, point at this guy, look to the rest of the group, and declare, "Dipshit!"
Hadriel looks up at your angrily pointing finger and just sort of.
What?
agreeing, I'm assuming.
Oh, you're pointing at him, not me. Because I was laying on him, and so you were pointing at him, but you were also pointing at me. It's like.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, what did this dumbass think was gonna happen? Did he think we were gonna take off our proverbial caps and wave and wish him well? Go, young dipshit! Have fun in the snow!
Yeah, well.
Ay, 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 ay.
Exiting rage.
Skunk is so over this shit right now.
He has not had a particularly great few hours.
I don't think he necessarily cares. The other guy didn't either.
Eh. With a pen.
So Oak, making it up to the party now, will go ahead and do Spare the Dying to keep him from bleeding out, even though he's just knocked unconscious, just to make sure. Granted, you struck him for non-lethal damage. So, I guess it doesn't really matter. He's just got several extra bruises that he didn't have before.
And a concussion!
Yeah, and likely a concussion. Several times over, even.
Hey, has anyone got a pen I can borrow for a second? I'm feeling vindictive.
I mean, the person who probably have those would be Cad. He's the one writing all the time.
I mean, yeah, but I was asking that in character.
I know.
I sit upright on their body as a beanbag chair, and
Oh, that's probably some broken ribs right there.
I reach into my gi and I produce a quill pen. One of these.
Yeah, that'll do, thanks. Does it have ink in it?
I reach my hands under my gi and I come out with 2 bottles of ink between fingers. One of these.
Just take one. And I will set about writing dunce in big letters on the unconscious Gith's forehead.
Good job.
Give it 3 underscores and then give Cad back his writing supplies. Thanks.
He, Hadriel rolls his eyes at you and chuckles under his breath and puts it away.
All right then. So bounding him back up again, and perhaps gagging him this time. Actually gagging him.
Yes.
And maybe a magical collar in there somewhere too. Granted, he's
Do we have any more of those?
not you guys.
Oh wait, I only had one.
Regardless, yeah, there's that. And now we will do a fun little dramatic cutaway as you guys bound him up to continue back into town to Silver with the guard.
Yeah, so she's just following the guard with Norvid, making sure he goes to jail, whatever, and replacing her magic collar.
Alright. So you are going to be basically led to what amounts to barracks or medieval equivalent of guardhouse station, whatever.
Barracks, garrison, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that. And you will see that for Kragbluff, while it's not all of them, a large portion of the people that are in Kragbluff are all dwarven.
Do we have a city map?
No, we don't. I never got one, but it's fine.
Oh, jeez.
You just draw on it anyway, so doodle map away. But you guys will you'll be led to a barracks garrison, and you'll be introduced to a older dwarf with like a graying beard that basically acts as guard captain or something of the sort. He is in very fancy, ornate guard armor and whatnot. And
Does it look functional or ceremonial?
Oh, it definitely is. I'd say it a little bit in between. It is definitely functional armor. It may have actually been seen a.
I was just saying whether or not it's actually been used, or is this guy just like sits around, lets other people do his work for him?
Oh yeah, it's definitely been used.
Okay.
And he is essentially you're brought up to him, and he is introduced as Commander Steelstrike.
Okay.
And Silver, if you would, since you are a paladin, you might have levels in this. Make for me a religion check.
19.
Yeah. You will see that he has a holy crest, holy symbol emblazoned on his perhaps either his shield or his cloak, maybe even both, that is of a hammer and an anvil.
Okay, who's the god?
And you know that god to be what is it? Moradin? Moradin.
Okay.
Often called the All-Father, the Creator, Dwarf Father. He's a very
Okay.
yeah, up there individual.
Okay.
And he will see you and the two guards come in with Norvid, who is still bound. And the two guards will introduce him, introduce you. Did you give them your name? I don't remember.
I did not give my name. I just told them that I'm a paladin of Helm.
Precisely. So they will introduce you as such. A paladin of Helm who has effectively delivered a rather infamous criminal, essentially.
Yes.
And he will Steelstrike will just sort of look to Norvid and then to you. And how did you find this individual? And he's asking you.
He was skulking around my camp.
That is technically not a lie.
Nope.
Alright. So
I would have dealt with him out there, but he annoyed me too much, so I figured I'd bring him into town.
he will sort of look over your gear and whatnot. Does Silver actually keep her symbol for helm? Well, you said yours.
So she has her armor, and she has like the blue sash and her badge of station on it.
Right.
And then she has her shield with the symbol of helm on it.
Because with everything that we did in that little month break, you're
Yep.
kind of
She has a new title.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's right. So he'll sort of look you over with that, and he's okay. Well, he's based on what info we do have about him. He's definitely someone to keep track of.
What was that last bit?
Keep track of. Basically, he's definitely someone to keep an eye on.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Don't let him use magic. If he does get the death sentence, I wish you luck.
Sort of raises an eyebrow at that. It's like, wait, what?
Huh?
He raises an eyebrow at that. Is like, wishing you luck. It's like, we'll just kill him. That's,
Well, he's a notorious criminal who did stupid things, but I say let him rot in jail. I think he would enjoy. Would he actually enjoy that? Because rotten and fungal, yeah.
Now, to be fair, if he couldn't use his magic to do anything with his spores, then they would just very quickly overtake him, probably.
Yeah.
Because they are fungus, they would want to spread and do their thing. So
I have a question. Is there like a reward for him? It's been a while since I've been up here in a bond. I don't know if there was a reward for him or not.
Not as such. There were many reports that were put out for his arrest and capture, but he evaded quite a many of them. There is a rather substantial bounty on his head, though at the current moment we are dealing with some complex issues that will make that bounty hard to deliver on at the moment.
How so?
Our proprietor is currently going through some...
So who runs this town? I know there's the giantess that ran the capital, that was kind of over there at the capital. Who runs this town?
Our town is ran by Lord Boulderguard.
And who is that?
A elder dwarf and a very powerful warrior.
And he said he's having some issues?
It's a personal matter of his own. He doesn't really go into depth of what is going on with him at the moment. It's just he's rather picky about where his treasury and his gold's going at the moment. So a bounty of size for someone like that, points down at Norvid, is not something that we in particular could deliver on. However...
So is he talking about the guy being stingy with the gold going out?
He is not necessarily stingy, but he is not currently handing out large substantials of like bounty rewards at the moment.
So he is being stingy.
Yeah. Without knowing the specifics of what he has going on, yeah, it could be seen as stingy.
You guys did say it was something like personal he was dealing with, so it could be stingy, or he might not, or it might be something more immediately horrifying. Who knows? We don't.
Precisely.
Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in his manor in the center of town, but I don't have a map for it, but it's fine. Though he might not want to visit
I
us.
do. I actually do possibly have some questions that he could answer about the nearby area. If he runs this town, surely he knows about things that are going on. I can talk to him about his little issue if you need any help with it, and if not, I'll be on my way then. Can I be reimbursed for the magic collar then? Or at least give me another one? Because I'm not going to take that off of him.
Darn you and your high-end regalia. If you were just a normal adventurer, it'd be like, roll persuasion. But you're like high-end paladin to helm, and it's like, yeah, persuasion's probably not needed.
Oh, okay. So, am I getting a magic collar?
You're getting another one, yes.
Okay, thank you. Woo! Put that back in the inventory.
Make sure you keep that, because it's useful.
Yep.
And are you going to leave from that and move on?
One last thing. Is there any uh any rumors of things going on in this town?
In what way? What kind of rumors are you looking for?
Um, say like a criminals organization is popping up, or there's to be some like really shifty, not really shifty. Oh shit, my brain just went off the tracks. Um,
Are people going missing?
well, she's beating around the bush about that. Because she's new to this town and doesn't really know until she can actually talk to like someone, leader or someone.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like shady organization popping up, unrest amongst the citizens because of some sort of reason. You know,
Um,
I'm just trying to be helpful, maybe find something to help you guys out a bit here while I'm in town.
so, um,
Like some mage going insane, maybe.
so you will, Steel Strike will sort of look, be kind of quiet for a moment, and then
What's going on? What's up?
we do have something going on.
Okay.
If you wish to speak to the elder anyway,
I would like to, yes.
I think you need to speak with him more than we can talk about it.
All right. Very well. And thank you for your help. Take good care of him and have a good day. Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
And she'll leave.
Alright. So, you get back outside and roll for me a perception check, Silver.
If a rat scurries out from behind me, I swear. A perception?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
9!
9?
9! What do
okay.
I see? What do I see with my 9?
So, you're going to make your way to the manor, correct?
Yeah, sure. I'll start heading out that way.
Alright. So, with the rest of the party, you guys are going to make your way back into town, and you have rebound the Gith from before, and you come bustling into town with him bound and whatnot, and with a few extra bruises on him, hooray. And,
His own fault.
Mm-hmm. And, you guys will see, because perception of huge from both Oak and Skunk don't even have to roll for it, because passive perception. Not to mention the fact that Silver kind of sticks out in this town, because everybody in this town is short. Or at least a lot of them are short. So, you will see Silver, as she leaves from the barracks, makes her way down the street to go to the central manor for the place. And yeah, you will be able to meet back up with her. Silver, you do not see them with your 9. Tunnel vision kind of thing. But
Wait, so the barracks was right next to the gate?
the way in which the easiest pathway to get to the manor in the like center of town, following the main street, is to come back from the barracks, go back towards the center of the town where you entered in like the main gate, and by the time you're turning the main gate, you're turning on that main street to go towards the center of town, they're coming back in the main gate. So it's not near the main gate, it's just you have to go past the gate to get to the manor.
So they can somewhat see me from a distance.
Yeah, pretty much. Although there are still guards who see that you guys have a bound individual amongst you. So, at least one of the guards who's still there. So what are you guys going to do as you enter town? Rest of the party.
Skunk is letting the people deal with the people.
People deal with the people.
People.
Skunk is very sociable, but he also knows his reputation, so...
Uh-huh.
Or at least the prejudices associated with this kind. He's not going to deal with law enforcement until that we have a foot in the door.
Okay.
What exactly do we want to do with our Gith friend at this time?
I would imagine we want him to be either imprisoned or interrogated by someone else, maybe? Or, I mean, Skunk, did you really talk to him before? Did he give you any kind of information on who he is?
Not really. I wasn't particularly digging. Also, I'm just not good at the whole interrogation thing. I'm not mean enough for it. I don't like being mean.
Nah, fair. Well, I would imagine that Silver took... Oh, hey, there she is.
Oh.
And you guys still have... the guard, I think, will... Since it's Bjorn is carrying him now, I guess. Or maybe Cad still is, who knows. The guard will speak up, and as you're trying to be indecisive on what you want to do with them, the guard will speak up and say, well, what exactly has he done? Why are you holding him captive?
Well, he may have attacked our camp. We thought it was rather rude of him.
I am going to roll a thing. Close map. Okay. So the guard will sort of look you over a bit, Bjorn, and just, and you know nothing about him.
I know he's an idiot.
Not wrong there.
Decidedly unwise. Yes.
Poor decision-making skills. I don't think he'll go far in life.
Very bad threat assessment. You can see it's written on his forehead what he is.
We may have gotten a little petty towards the end.
I got a little petty. Your hands are clean.
No, there's still some blood on them.
I mean, yeah, but that's justifiable.
Is there blood on the pommels?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's definitely almost.
I did 47 damage with my pommel. That thing is caked. It has been painted crimson.
I'm pretty sure that dude's skull is just kind of a mush now.
He's got a permanent dent in his cranium.
He's going to wake up and say, "Hi,
He's going to wake up and his entire personality is going to have shifted a few degrees to the west.
the beast." Fucking beast.
Well, if he is... This does not inspire confidence by the guards. Oak will speak up, and he attacked our camp. We captured him once, then he got away from us, and we captured him again. Hence the newer wounds he's got there. And we had another friend who was coming ahead of us with somebody else who was going to probably lead that somebody else to your barracks or prison or whatever. And the guard sort of tilts his head and Paladin of Helm, yes. Yeah. She passed through here, I'm sure she did. And then it's like, oh yeah, over there. And then Yong will actually call out to Silver from a distance. Which Silver
Really, while they're having this whole interaction, Silver was still walking away.
Oh, I know, I figured.
And also my perception is 9, so she probably didn't hear.
Fair enough. And I think the guard will just, well, if you wish for him to go to the barracks as well, we can sort of look into figuring out what he has going on and then decide what to do with him from there. Take him off your hands at the very least. And does Bjorn relinquish the Gith to the dwarf guard?
Yes. Yes, he does.
All right. It should also be noted that this dwarven guard is not actually in any kind of like substantial metal armor of any sort. He looks more uh, sort of tribal, a bit like Bjorn is actually. Just minus the actual armor. It's just he's got some wild man to his aesthetic, as it were. And
A little bit of the Gimli going on.
yeah. And he is just going to lean the Gith over his shoulder and carry him easily. But because he's short, the Gith's legs are going to be dragging him. And he will move on to the barracks, and the other guard is just going to sort of... he likes showing off like that. Don't mind him. And he will, let you, the rest of you, in for you to do whatever which you please. As I said, you guys will see Silver a little ways away. She didn't seem to notice you.
I look around. Is there any signs of like an inn or a bar or anything like that nearby?
With your high enough perception, you will very easily spot what amounts to an inn. Yes.
I'm going to tug at whoever's closest to me sleeve and point at it.
Hey, I'm gonna go get us some rooms if you all want to go link up with Silver. Just in case we need them.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Also, I could just really do with a pork roast. I am hungry. I'm hungry and grumpy.
Order one on my behalf.
So 2
We'll
pork
look forward to it when I get here.
Okay, so you want to eat it too. Okay.
Yes. If I arrive and there is not a pork roast waiting for me, I will be irate.
Okie dokie.
We'll just
I pat him on the shoulder.
Put up a big grin, tail swishes half-heartedly a couple times, and then waddle off towards the end to do just that.
Waddle, waddle, waddle.
I've got the digitigrade legs. That leads to a natural waddle a bit.
All right. So Oak and Young are going to go and try to catch up with Silver. What are Cat and Bjorn going to do?
Can probably tag along, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Silver, you are making your way to the manor in the center.
Yeah, she's walking like she's on a mission, so respectable pace.
Yes. And now closer to you, you'll hear. This time it's not Young, it's Oak. Oak will speak up, and Silver. And now they're close enough for you to hear because they're like right behind you.
So we're like, look over.
You'll see most of your party, minus Skunk. I assume Rupert was probably dismissed.
Yeah, Rupert should be dismissed, I think.
Because you're traveling through town, no real need to have a steed while you're walking in town.
I mean, it is fun and impressive sometimes, but we already dragged a dude who was beat to shit and tied up, so...
Yeah.
Pushing luck and all that.
Yeah. So, you will see the rest of your party, behind. And,
Is Cad with them? Or did he go with Skunk?
I'd probably come with the rest of them.
Oh, just missing a Skunk, okay.
Yep, just missing Skunk. So, they will join back up with you, and, okay. So, I assume you took Norvid.
Silver isn't really talking. She's just gonna continue on her way.
Fair enough. This is gonna be awkward. Yay.
Yep.
Alright. So, I assume everybody's just gonna follow you as you're making your way to the manor in the center of town. Which will have 2 dwarf guards in the front of it with the same kind of symbolism and whatnot as before. Actually, Silver already did it earlier. everyone who is, traveling with Silver at the moment and sort of getting a lay of the land with the town itself. Actually, technically, I guess Skunk could do it too because he's going into a tavern. Religion checks from the party.
Oh, Shazam.
Minus Silver, who already did it.
Yep.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but my religion score is not very high.
And then we need an oak. Skunk can roll religion too if you want to.
I mean, I'm not there, am I?
Well, you're still...
Yeah, so you're surrounded by people that are of this town.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. Although technically, because how much was Skunk exposed to, like, the people of the world and whatnot? Because you say before, does he stop because he doesn't know people, or does he stop because he knows how people treat him usually?
I would say in general, like for most of his life, Skunk pretty much just lived in a tiny backwater. He's been around at this point, hence why he's, the level that he is. He's done some cool shit, seen plenty of cool places, talked to plenty of cool people. But I'd say like his practical, like his applicable education is limited. His practical experience mostly boils down to how can he make sure the people he's immediately talking to decide not to skin him alive for having scales instead of skin? Or how can he shoot this person with one arrow to take them down immediately,
Yeah.
His experience is mostly around keeping himself alive and comfortable rather than cultural or religious nuance. So he might know this stuff, but only because someone lectured him about it once when they were on the road. Like someone was info dumping at him.
Right, yeah.
Like some freshly christened apostle of a religion happened to be in the party and was talking to him about all the tenets. He's like,
Sure. Yep. Okay. I understand. I don't really care, but I get you.
Well, fair enough. So, in light of that, because the experience and whatnot is slightly different, the result needed was probably a little bit higher for you. I could see that, but it's decently well known and is fairly common for folks to know. And funny enough, my NPC party members were the ones that rolled the lowest. Yay. But, so, Young doesn't have a clue. The result needed was, for everyone other than Skunk, was a 10. So, Oak does. I was going to make it a little harder for Skunk at a 12, but he made it anyway, so it's fine. Basically, of course, as I said before, the creator god, the deity connected to, like, engineering, creation, blacksmithing, a very prominent and strong dwarven deity. His like symbolism and everything is all over this town. So you're sort of in a religious epicenter of sorts. Granted, not everyone here is a dwarf. Just most of them are.
so I'll be at eye level with people, is what you're saying.
You would, yes.
Neat. Like Skunk is walking into the building, pauses.
Why is this scaled proportionately to me? This feels tight.
Yeah, something like that. You guys are going to follow Silver as she makes her way to the manor of sorts. And Silver, you are going to be meeting up with a couple guardsmen, as before.
Okay.
They don't necessarily stop in your way, but as a like prevent you from traveling because you're very much got this woman on a mission thing. And they do know from your attire and the fact that this town is heavily religious, that you are important.
Woo!
So
God gave this one a free pass.
at least a god did. And So if you speak to the guards, you can choose to do so. If you don't, and you're just going straight on forward, you're just going straight.
Is the Lord of the Manor in?
The two guards sort of look at each other, and he is, yes.
Would it be alright if I request presence with him?
As more images get sent into the Discord chat. One moment, and then one guard will go in and basically travel in to get you your audience, so to speak. Anyway, the one guard will walk away and make his way inside, and then you're sort of left outside with the rest of your party. And then awkward silence again, I assume.
Sure.
Unless Silver speaks up of what's going on.
Not really. It's not in a talking mood.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, it's not that she's not in talking mood. It's more like she doesn't want to start conversations.
Yeah, that's fair. And then I think eventually Oak will sort of break the awkward silence, and he's... So you're meeting with the leader of town to get information, I assume?
Yes.
And hopefully Norvid remains in the prison wherever he is.
Well, they already said that and said they're going to keep an eye on him, so yes, hopefully.
Alright then. Like, Oak's got the demeanor right now of, it's like, he was being someone who followed with like a nature deity and like nature themed god and whatnot. He has that vibe of someone who's in a practiced religion that was a little bit more loose and free. And here it's sort of kind of oppressive a little bit.
This is just a normal Tuesday for Silver.
Fair. I will say, Silver, like, when you and I mean, it makes sense. Silver was essentially raised in a temple.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Silver's perspective, it's like, this whole town is a temple.
Yeah. It's fancy.
But, yeah. Anyway.
This is such a riveting conversation.
Yes. Because Silver is now traveling with the two wallflowers, and I don't want to have all the conversations done by my NPCs. But, yeah. I think Bjorn doesn't really have a major stance in religion, does he? Not really.
No. He's just trying to have a good time and smite evildoers along the way.
Yeah. And what would you say is Cad's understanding or faith like, Kenneth?
Let's see. Awkward childhood, awkward issues, locked in a room, sprung free. I'm going to say he's pretty much not really into much religion stuff. He's probably heard of stuff if it's well known, but that's probably it.
Yeah. He did have only a 3 on his religion skill, so.
And yet, I rolled a 15 total.
You did, yes. You rolled the highest, I believe.
It makes sense. I read books.
This group.
Yeah, out of the group before Silver, anyway. So, okay. So, Bjorn and Cad's stance on religion is sort of meh. And Silver is at home, so the only one that feels out of place is Oak. Great. Of course, Young's stance on it is sort of back and forth anyway. She was raised with the same kind of faith as Oak, but she was also grew up in a city, so she has a little of both going on there. And eventually, the guard will return, And you will see a elder dwarf fellow. I don't know if this is from a very specific game or not, but I kind of like this image and I found it. So, it's a good thing that not all of this is like posted image wise. This guy.
Oh, cool.
It is certainly a look.
It is, yes. Although for a little bit of differences, he's gonna have the same symbol on his what is that, a shawl or something, or a cape he's got going on there? Yeah. And he's currently not smoking his pipe, though he does have it.
Okay.
So he will come out, sort of present himself. You requested audience with me.
Yes. We've been wondering to go on a mission from someone in Gradiriel?
Morkita.
The capital.
Morkita is the capital here.
Morkita? Okay.
Morkita.
Where did I get Careful from?
Different town.
I guess so.
It was a town. It was just a town in Gradiriel, not here.
Man, it's just my brain's being no.
Yeah, you're fine.
We're on a job from that city, and I figured I would want to talk, request audience with you to see if you have heard anything about an organization that has been kidnapping people, supposedly along the road from here and there.
I have. Who is your, You say you have a mission from Morkita to look into this group?
Correct.
And who is it that is giving you that mission? Was I clear enough there? I don't think I was.
No, I heard you. I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm trying to be not really coy, but it was someone of great importance.
I see. Well, given your station, he sort of looks you over a little bit. Given your station, I believe that I can at least tell you a little bit, but not out here where anyone else can hear.
Okay, very well.
So he will then direct Silver and potentially the rest of the party, should they want to come along, to come inside of his manor and whatnot. Now, just as Skunk was making the reference of why is everything appropriately sized for me, earlier.
Oh, Cat, you might want to stand outside.
You could. I mean, the manor and every place around it is fairly large, and it's not as if you're not going to be able to fit through the door. But, there is going to be that bit of, CAD might be a bit too big for the furniture.
I sit cross-legged on the floor.
Yeah, you're fine. So you're led inside, and you're going to see all manner of, paintings and depictions of, battles and, military-esque sort of a vibe going on. This fellow is a very seasoned warrior, and you even see a very large, though probably not large for CAD, great axe that he has that is sitting in a
Display.
Display up above the mantle and fireplace thing that this manor has going on. And you also see very easily that a lot of the paintings and depictions of the military fights and whatnot do have our mayor, leader, commander in them. He just looks younger.
Wait, so the pictures of himself?
Pictures of battles and combats where he was the leading and commanding officer. It's like
I
basically.
must say, you must be very proud of your accomplishments.
I am indeed. And then he will sort of call out to one of the like workers and whatnot that he has in his abode, and do any of you wish to have a little bit of ale?
I would not turn some away.
Bjorn was looking distractedly at the paintings, but now he walks over with a smile.
Oh, Bjorn was looking at the paintings?
Yeah, they're depicting scenes of battle. He knows a thing or two about battle. He likes it.
Give me a perception check, Bjorn.
Oh, shit. Shit.
Say
It
it.
ain't good.
You discover that you were not looking at the paintings, but the paintings were looking at you.
No.
These two things can
Could've
both be true
been.
at the same time.
Could have been the eyes watching.
Right? Little
It was like
peepholes,
Scooby-Doo.
hollow walls. It's a
Mhm.
real thing.
Oh no, are we meddling kids?
Perhaps.
Skunk is, for sure.
Yep.
A level 14 meddling kid.
That's only if you're playing D&D Modern. That's when that class exists. But anyway, so you will look at the paintings for a little bit, all the various depictions and whatnot, and then you will go back over to meet up with the elder, and he will very hospitably offer ale to anyone who wishes to have it. Y'all will take some. Oak will take it because it is offered.
Gradiriel will accept like a glass of it or a goblet or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Bjorn, obviously.
yes, obviously.
Is this like a kind of a study where there's like other chairs and stuff around?
Yep, it's basically a sort of like meeting hall, conference room kind of a vibe.
Parlor
Yeah. Yep.
kind of thing. Sure, I guess Silver will sit down
Cat is still
if she
sitting.
fits.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Cat will still be sitting on the floor because the furniture is a bit too small for him.
Yep.
But he will then get you some drinks passed around. Okay, so you said you were looking into this group that is
I've been going around kidnapping, supposedly somewhere along the road from this town in Morkita. Specifically, it's been noticed that they've been kidnapping people with unique features.
Yes, that's basically what we have as our intel as well.
I mainly wanted to stop by and see whether or not you had any more information that we didn't already know.
Oh. I assume your proprietor provided you with at least a little bit of information then?
Yes, she said it was out this way, somewhere along the mountains, but not known for where for sure. And since it's such a wide area, we've decided that we could use either more refined information, like gathering, or possibly set up a trap of sorts to bait them out of hiding.
Well, what I can tell you from our own information, we do believe that the group is located almost directly north, maybe a little northwest from Kragbluff here.
Okay.
In the mountainsides, so I'm not entirely sure how deep into the mountains it would go. But
But it's further information that we have, and we greatly appreciate it.
that is more than what you had. It is, and I would suggest that you and your company remain vigilant for anyone that, though we are the closest town, any adventuring party that we have sent that way to try to look into this rather nefarious group has not returned.
We will surely keep that in mind. Now, since you've been so gracious in offering up such information, is there possibly anything we can do to help you?
At the current moment, the only thing that I'm really looking into is knowledge that something of that place has been dealt with. What do you know of, you said you have only recently started traveling in Avon here lately. What do you know of Avon's social structure?
We know quite a bit. We have a understanding of how it all works. Is it something about your proprietor?
Yes, not so much you are a paladin of Helm. If you do not share this information, if I can trust you and your party to not share this information out anywhere, I can give you a little bit more information.
I mean, we do not have need to expose such information out to the public, so...
Our proprietor is currently dealing with a issue of not wanting to send his most powerful individuals to look into this place because someone important to him is, based on what all he's told us, this important to him individual would be in danger should he directly do anything to affect this group of people. I don't know if there's some sort of blackmail something going on or what, but these people have...
Go on.
As you said, you know Yvonne's government, so you know maybe nothing about him, but you know precisely, you may perhaps know what my proprietor is.
Yes.
So, something else to keep in mind, that this group of people has been powerful enough to be intimidating.
Blackmailing him.
Intimidating and blackmailing enough to a dragon. While I wish for them to be dealt with, I am not going to say that it's going to be an easy task. Not to mention...
We wouldn't happen to have a chance to speak with him about it, could we?
My proprietor?
Yes.
Because
we actually have someone in our group that honestly is more curious about dragons and stuff, so it would be more to like introduce our friend to talk with him, but also be able to get an understanding from him of what we can do to make sure that nothing endangers him.
I would have to ask. It would be very difficult depending on his current mood. With everything he has going on right now, he's been a little bit...
Well, you can just simply tell him that an outside party has come in from another that's been hired by Princess Okra? How do you pronounce her name again?
Askra.
Okra, yeah.
Okay.
But also, if he has any communications, we have also worked with the dragon brain not working. Why am I forgetting? Aza?
Aza, yes.
Yes, we've also worked. We are friends with the Silver Dragon of over Mork.
That name you remembered.
Yes. I can never forget Mork.
It is
It's embedded with hatred.
Yeah. Yes. Alright. So
oh, and also the friend that would like to speak with him is a kobold, if that would pique his interest. Curiosity.
Kobold, you say?
Yes, he's, as you can see, he's currently not with us. Where is he? Where did you guys allow him to wander off to?
He went
Silver.
to acquire rooms and food at the inn.
Ah, okay. Do you know which inn?
Yes, he pointed it out to us.
Okay.
Well, should you wish to seek audience, I can speak to my proprietor and see if he would wish to meet you. I will say that it is likely that you will not meet him in his draconic form.
That's perfectly fine. But if you ever answer or anything, we'll be staying where? Turning to Bjorn.
Yes.
The Iron Beaver Bar.
Oh,
Okay. If you
Iron
want to
Beaver.
send...
Iron Beaver. Yep.
What? Iron Beaver?
Iron Beaver.
that's what the sign said. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, I'm not going to question it if they have good drinks and food. But if you wish to send someone over there to fetch us, we can return back here if he wishes for privacy, or if he likes going out and about, he can meet us there.
Of course. And he will.
We just brought in a notorious criminal that goes by the name of Norvid. Is there any chance we can get? Did he have a reward or anything? Because I was told to come talk to you about it.
Yes. As it stands, because of the aforementioned issues with the blackmail, our own proprietor is not allowing us to really look into deep pockets and deep rewards. But I can guarantee you, should you have a good audience with him and a good conversation with him, and or you succeed in what many others have not and bring us back proof of the destruction of that group,
Okay.
I will see to it that you will get the rewards for both.
Ah. Well, sounds fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you guys going to leave from there, or do you have any other questions for him?
I don't have any more questions. Does anyone else in the group has anything?
Bjorn would like to ask him which of the paintings is his favorite.
He sort of looks over at you for a second, Bjorn, and he's... Oh. I take it then you're a warrior sort yourself?
Guilty as charged.
Not hard to see.
As I clank through the room.
Let's see. Ooh, fun.
Oh no. Big number.
Alright.
Jeez, okay.
So, Bjorn, you'll mention that, and he'll say, it would be that one there, and you will see that there is a rather it's a very detailed depiction of a fight. Just like all the rest, it's a fight that is taking place with like a nice backdrop of a like stormy night, mountainsides far in the back. There's like a forest in the immediate foreground to the mountains, and it's just done up to be like a dramatic fight with details focusing on himself in the foreground, and like launching out and striking at other folks clad in armor and whatnot that's a little shadowed to give you the details of the people that are that he's actually fighting. And it's probably out of every one of them, the paintings in here, he's got like 5 or 6 different battles. Is probably the one with the most dramatic of depictions, with like the stormy scape to it and the details that were present on his face and whatnot. And he's just, I think it would be that one.
Well, what was the battle?
So this is when I say something interesting. Though it would technically give away the detail of it, but it would be something that would be more akin to the appropriate backstory. I think you said before that Bjorn grew up in and around a forest.
Yes.
Did you have a name for that forest in mind?
I didn't have a particular one.
Okay. So...
Probably something straightforward and vaguely haunted sounding.
And or maybe Nordic.
Cavalier word.
Maybe something sort of Nordic as well, as far as naming scapes.
Ideally.
So yes. Whatever the reason that's important is whatever the name of the forest is, it is essentially Battle of that forest. So Bjorn, roll for me history, I guess. Though I guess you could have advantage if you wanted to. Oh, nope, don't need it.
There's no need for that, my friend.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
because of the nature of what this is, you rolling a 21 kind of makes sense. So, what you will recall is sometime just before, like, because your clan was rather nomadic, early on at least. Sort of did a lot of traveling around. If I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know from the history and what people have said when you were traveling around Devon, part of the reason why your family chose this particular forest to settle down in was because this particular forest was the site for a fair number of battles in Yvonne's history. So while
Very famous battle forced.
mm-hmm. Yep. It is.
It'd be like 2 armies meeting up. So, where do you want to go have this fight? Let's go over to that forest over there. It's very famous. Everyone else fights there. Let's go fight there. Oh, okay.
There's lots of spare ammo lying around.
Well, not in medieval times. It'd be like spare weapons, maybe.
Yes, arrows,
Yeah,
stones.
True. That would still count as ammo. You're right. And so, you will know and remember that with your history of 21, that the forest in question in that backdrop is the forest that at one point in time sort of served as your homestead, because it also matches the name.
And with that history of 21, can I tell what this specific battle that's being depicted here is?
I would say, and with the name in question given, I would say it's probably one of the last big battles that happened just before your family decided to settle there. Because it's going to be relatively, it's going to be several years ago, due to dwarves living for hundreds of years. Yay.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be, compared to every other battle that may be depicted here, part of the reason why it might be one of his favorites is because it might have been one of his last, where he was actually a commanding officer. So.
That's fair. Well, if you want to sort of give a thoughtful nod, be like, I think it's a good choice.
And then he sort of looks you over for a second. What's your name, son?
Bjorn.
I like how we pretty much went into this dude's house and didn't even tell him our names.
Right? Adventurers, gotta love them. Also, high-end station from a paladin. Good grief. Be glad that I rolled the thing to depict whether or not this town would choose to actually follow through with the high station that you have. I did a roll for that earlier. But anyway, so you will. He'll sort of look you over and. Bjorn Eriksson, perhaps?
It bothers me that you know that. But you are right. Hand might drift a little closer to my weapon in a subtle kind of way.
Stand down, you're fine. It's a shame what happened. I'll give you that. But you're, despite some of their more outlandish choices, your family were strong warriors. I commend you for that.
Sort of acknowledge him with a small little nod. Respectful one.
Trust me, boy. I know what battling can do to a person. And you seem pretty battle-worn anyway. Plus, I'm not going to cause a fight in my living room.
No. Too cramped.
Indeed. Well, what about you? Sort of looks over at Cad. Do you have any questions?
Not at the moment. Nope.
Does Elgar Young have any questions?
Pretty much no. Same sort of response that Cad had. Well then, as I said, I will get in touch and see whether or not he wants to meet here or have you return. Or return to you in the inn.
Oh, very well. We shall wait and see for a little bit before we decide to head out.
All right.
Have a good evening.
It is rather late, by the way.
Yes.
So not only did you come into this guy's house and not say your names, you're also coming into this guy's house at like 8 or 9 in the evening.
Yep, we're awesome people.
Right? It's great.
Important business can't wait, yo.
And then as you make your way to leave, I want everyone to give me a perception check as you're heading out.
7!
Mm-hmm.
5.
Several and Bro are like, we just met a really cool duel. Let's get back to the tavern so we can drink more.
Yeah, right. I know for a fact I got a meal waiting for me at that tavern. Bjorn's power walking.
Uh-huh.
Power walking.
And...
Ching, 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 ching.
Okay. So really the only ones that would hear it or notice it is Cad, although it wouldn't necessarily be a smell thing, but it was his first roll, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. Smell and perception normal of 20.
And then 29 from Oak. As you guys are like making your way to leave, you'll hear a somewhat softer feminine voice that is, Thermac, what is going on? And then you guys are just gone.
Oh, okay.
So, but of course with the 7, Silver didn't hear that.
That's fine.
And you guys will make your way to the inn, which was the Iron Beaver. Yay. Is there anything in particular that Skunk did while waiting for everybody else aside from making sure that he had rooms and food?
Since we were gone for a while.
You were gone for a while.
Probably, considering how long everyone was gone, he probably, I don't know, he doesn't have any spells to keep a pork roast warm so unless he asked them to just wait until his friends came to serve up a pork roast, there's a good chance Bjorn's pork roast has gone cold. But other than that, Skunk has mostly just been sitting quietly at a table as far removed from other people as he can find, eating slowly and just thinking.
So I sort of imagined that you might not necessarily known whenever Bjorn was going to arrive, but considering that Bjorn said he wanted one of his own, like a pork roast of his own, both to prevent you from potentially falling to temptation and eating more, and to make sure that he has his warm, you might have requested some of the cooks at the tavern to know that another friend of yours is going to be coming that wanted another one, but you're not going to set it out and have it ready until he gets there. So perhaps they could be keeping it warm with more conventional means.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How is the tavern reacting to Skunk?
Yes. So, for the most part, since Skunk is sort of keeping to himself, he's, no one's really paying him much mind since he's keeping to himself. Though, I assume Skunk probably with the meal that he had, he probably ate it the same way he always does. It's just, yum.
He's actually eating much quieter and more reserved than normal.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The slow chewing.
He's taking his time, and he is thinking about a lot of stuff right now, so...
Interesting. Well, even without, the aggressively eating bit that he normally does, most everybody in the tavern is sort of keeping a wide berth from Skunk. Not necessarily to because they don't like him or anything like that. It's more along the lines of he's keeping to himself, so they'll sort of let him be. However, there is one person. Sparky, will you quit eating stuff off the floor, dog? Quit. Anyway, there is one person that Skunk will have as an audience, and due to your really high perception, you will notice such, and you will see, though the gear might be slightly different with like the particularly with the belt, or like I don't know precisely what's all in this image, but I found an image that I liked for what I was looking for. You will have an audience who is not going closer to you, but you see him eyeing you, of a little dwarf boy, dwarf child. Boop.
Aww.
And he is smaller than you, pointing out.
And he's like, "What you looking at?"
Is the kid, like, trying to hide or anything?
I would imagine that he is, though even if Skunk had a perception score of, like, base 7 or 8, you'd still see him. He's hiding, in quotes.
It's like he found a thin candlestick and he's parked behind it.
Something like that, yes. I sort of imagine he's actually close to the, more to the side of the, he's actually, briefly, on the bartender's side of the, bar. And he sort of looks around the corner of, like, the bar table and, like, you know how the saloon-style doors that go through the, I got you. Yeah, he sort of got his head and peeking over the top of one of those from the other side of the counter. And he's just watching you. Doesn't do anything. He's just watching you.
Skunk will keep an eye on the kid, but will otherwise not acknowledge him.
Okay.
Because, like, he's not causing me any trouble, and I don't want to spook a little kid by showing him my big old chomper, so I'm just going to keep eating. Maybe make it a point. Maybe try to make it a point to, like, like try and like hide some of the tension in my face a little bit. Maybe like work the corners of my mouth up a little bit to try and put on a tiny bit of a smile, just to make myself look a little less vicious.
Oh no, he's baring his teeth. Look out.
Not showing fangs, just, quirking the lip a bit.
Yeah. My lip.
Quirking my lip.
That is the new thing now. So, like, do you keep a constant eye on him, like in the corner of your eye, or do you like look to your food and look to thinking, then look back his way, or?
I mean, I'll cast him glances every so often, but like,
okay,
I am not of the opinion that a little dwarf boy is going to be, or dwarf girl, dwarf boy.
You don't really know, actually.
A little dwarf them is going to be much of an issue for me. I'm level 14 and I have all kinds of tricks. I'm good.
So I will admit he doesn't do it very well, but because he's not stealthy like at all. But he does do. I just because it's kind of adorable. He's gonna sort of do that ninja cat thing. Look away, look back. He's closer. Look away, look back. He's closer. He's not like being aggressive. It's more like he's a combination of curious and slightly either he might be scared of you or he just might be a timid kid to begin with. Ha 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 ha. No.
He could be.
He's just sort of trying and failing to be casual about his sneaking in your relative direction.
Once he gets within like 30 or 20 feet, if he gets that close, Skunk will then make a big show of tilting his nose up and just sniffing at the air a few times. And then look at the kid.
He hides, tries, fails, but hides. He's like, hey. He then sort of, what is it? Like, because...
Pokes the head out?
He pokes his head out, and then he tries to, it's something akin to, like, tiptoe, but it's like tiptoe combination with, like, the stubby little kid walk, because he's short. So he what is it, like a toddle kind of thing, like a little toddler waddle kind of thing, like
I guess. So kid's toddling toward me.
Yep, getting a little bit closer.
How close is he at this point?
Maybe 15-20 feet ish, and slowly sort of waddling closer, trying to he's trying to not just like, I'm gonna go over here now. He's trying to be a little casual about it.
Skunk will just await. He'll keep eating and he will wait.
And once he's close enough to like speak a little softly, you will, he'll, excuse me?
Yep.
I don't, Mom always tells me not to be rude, but,
Hey, it's okay. I don't bite people, usually.
I'll just give him a friendly smile and eat some more of my thing.
While staring at him. It's like the eye contact while eating.
Nah.
who are you?
I like lean forward slightly conspiratorially.
Promise he won't laugh.
Tilts his head at you.
My name is Skunk.
He'll actually do a like one of those half chuckle, like quick, kind of like the noise I just made, the like quick laugh chuckle thing, and then very quickly cover his mouth with both hands.
Yeah, I wasn't able to squeeze a promise out of you, so you can get away with it. Alright, fair's fair. What's your name?
Mistla.
What?
Mistla.
Miss.
It is
into ginger. Nice. Bit of red pepper, too.
You have a good sense of smell.
Yes, I do. It's kind of my whole gimmick.
He does that little, like, thinking gesture, like finger on chin sort of think. You probably smell pepper because I like spicy stuff.
I would do it.
Dad gives me spicy stuff all the time. Mom keeps telling him no, but he does it anyway.
Do you like spicy things?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go then. There is a point where it can get, like, actually, like, damaging, so just mind of that, but yeah. If you like spice, go for it.
Yeah. That's what Mommy says. She says I can't have too much. But I guess it's better than sweet things. She don't like me having sugar either.
Well, sugar's weird. Like, I can't eat sugar. I can't really have sweets. But to my understanding, it's all right. I got this, and I'll just hold up, like, in my bare hand, a chunk of meat.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Carnivore. But, like, to my understanding, a big part of, like, why sweets are, like, so important, or rather why, like, you know, you warm bloods are so, like, fiercely after it, after sugary treats and stuff, why you have sweet tooths, as you call it, is because, like, way back in the earlier days, like, before, like, all your civilizations got all big and stuff, when you were still starting out, things with sugar in them gave you a lot of energy. And, like, take it from me, I'm a small, scrawny dude, and this is a big, scary world. When your people were starting out, you hadn't figured out all the cool tricks yet, so it was even bigger and it was even scarier, and everything could godball you up like that. And I'll just pop a chunk of meat into my mouth and swallow it whole.
He kind of squeaks.
So, something that has a lot of sugar in it, like certain types of berries or those weird beans, it gave you a little burst of energy. And that was important. You needed energy to stay alive. But these days, you know, I'll gesture up and around at the end, we got big old houses like this. We got shelter, we got beds, we got we got awesome magic stuff. Swords, shields, heroes all over the place, a lot of history, and God's looking at us and being like, hey, I like that one, I'm gonna help that one. So, a lot of boons now that didn't necessarily exist way back when, or at the very least, hadn't figured out how to make the most of them yet. So, there's a reason you like sweets so much, but if you have too much of them now, you're just kind of overcompensating because you're not burning them off. So, have sweets, do some push-ups. Easy balance.
Is that why I sort of run around a lot whenever I have sugar?
Yes!
He gives you this, like, really big smile, and he's happy. Okay.
Hey, want to see something cool?
Cool? Yes.
I turn invisible.
Where'd you go? Sort of
I reappear.
Right here.
But you should have gone to another chair.
I scooted like 5 feet to the left.
So you have magic.
Yep.
Are you another one of those, like, I've never seen any of them turn invisible. I don't know a lot about magic, but I want to learn. Can you teach me magic?
Probably not. Sadly. Magic's one of those weird things where, like, I get it and I can kind of fiddle with it, but, like, pretty much all my magic comes from, it's not something that I, like, poured over books for a long time to figure out. I found a cool rock and I decided, yeah, this one can make funny stuff happen.
So you got magic from a rock?
He has a somewhat better understanding of magic than Riven.
I got magic from a magic rock. Bit of a difference. Don't go getting him confused.
Oh. How can you tell a magic rock from a rock?
Well, magic rocks, and magic in general, tends to glow.
Oh.
Like this.
And I'll summon up a mage hand.
What are you doing with the mage hand?
Yeah, I'm just having it float in front of him for the moment.
His eyes are huge and glued on the mage hand as he just watches it.
I'll have it just sort of drift through the air a few times. And while it's doing that, I'll reach into my pack, pull out a little coin, bing, flick it over to the mage hand, have the mage hand catch the coin, and do some funky, like, coin tricks.
he is just like instantly enamored. Just like the world around him could be destroyed, and he's just watching.
After a second, the mage hand will ding, flick the coin back, and Skunk will catch it.
Then again, my understanding of magic is limited. It does its own weird thing. It's like one of those things that takes like a whole lifetime to learn.
Do you think I can learn magic?
I mean, sure, if it's what you want to do. It's not exactly easy. It would take a long time and probably a couple lucky breaks. But I mean, hey, nothing saying it can't happen.
I like you, Skunk. You're cool.
I try. Now, I don't want to keep you and worry your parents wherever they might be, so you should probably be running along. I'm expecting a few friends in a minute, but if you want, I can give you a cool little gift for about 10 minutes.
Tilt his head again. The other way this time.
Now, if I'm gonna do this, you gotta promise to be careful, okay?
Okay.
I will do some nonsense mumbo-jumbo magic words, make like a figure 8 in the air with my index finger, and then just like boop him on the nose and cast fly on him.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
He flies straight up at max speed for 10 minutes.
I hope not.
He's stuck on the ceiling.
So he will like he'll sort of shake his head as you boop him on the nose and like close his eyes and he's like, what? Mm-hmm. And then he's slowly starting to float and he's like, what? Huh? Whoa.
So don't go too high because that is only going to last for 10 minutes and then it's just going to go away and you're going to fall. So try to stay kind of close to the ground. You know, if you could imagine falling from that height, making a big bruise or a boo-boo, don't go that high. But otherwise, keep it our little secret and go give your stick in the mud mama heart attack, yeah?
And I'll give him a wink.
The person who you cast fly on is the one who controls the fly.
Yes.
But he is also like the equivalent of a 4-year-old. So
I have created chaos.
you have, yes. Ooh.
You're gonna get us kicked out before we even arrive.
Hey, I asked the kid not to tell not to mention it was me.
So looky what I just rolled.
Oh no!
So
He just starts floating up.
yeah, pretty much. He will sort of try to get an understanding of how to float, which I imagine would be akin to, like, maybe akin to swimming in a way, because you're like swimming through the air. But yeah, he starts to sort of float up, and he's continuing to float up, and his body is going down, and he sort of just starts to somersault continuously in the air.
I will put out an invisible mage hand to catch him and ride him.
Nah. He sort of you like set him back up to where he's not tumbling forward. And then he shakes his head really hard because he got a little dizzy somersaulting, and then starts spitting instead. He goes.
I mean, I still got the mage hand like on his shoulder to keep him steady.
Yeah. And he's. And then he looks down and he realizes how high he is, and he's like, "Hey."
Okay, come on down here.
Keeping in mind, of course, this tavern does have people in it. Not very many.
Right, but I'm also in the back corner. So.
You are in the back corner.
So I'll lower my voice a bit.
It's all about intention. You got to think about the direction you want to go. If you kind of just let your mind go in any old direction, then you're just going to start spinning. It takes a bit of concentration.
it takes him a minute, and he'll get like a very like that scrunched up, determined kid face. And he will eventually get right side up again, more properly, without the mage hand's help. And then he sort of floats down a little bit so that he's not as high.
There you go. You're getting it.
And then he sort of looks around. You're sort of in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's so you say
Do you want me to turn it off? I can turn it off if it's spooking you.
No. If I land on the ground, or if I get on the ground, does it automatically go away?
No, it lasts either until enough time passes or until I turn it off. Or you want it to stop, whichever happens first.
So I can tell it to stop.
I think so?
Is that a thing? I can't remember. Fly spell, hold on. Let's see.
It does concentration up to 10 minutes. And the creature has to be, like, willing, right?
Probably, I'd imagine.
So if he withdraws his willingness, then the spell will end, I assume.
Maybe. Let's see. Fly. Double check the writing on this creature. Or on this spell creature.
Willing creature.
Gains a flying speed of 60 for the duration. When it ends, the target falls if it is still off, unless it can stop the fall. Okay. So theoretically, since it has that willing creature distinction, I would imagine that,
Yeah.
he could theoretically stop it, so sure. Anything? Okay.
I will also say that in the event he winds up getting way too high and winds up falling while too high, I am ready to cast Featherfall at a moment's notice.
Yes. So what he will do is he will no and then he'll sort of look around, which he intends to look around by turning his head. He turns his whole body because he's spinning in the air. And then since you're in the corner of the room, he will, since you told him it's intent, it's what he wants to do. And he'll sort of come to terms with that and get a little bit of an understanding of it. And then he will tilt to where he's sort of laying on his side horizontal in the air. He's sideways. And he steps to where he's got his feet on the corner of the room, like it's the floor, and then jump and go Superman flying across the room towards the tavern. He doesn't, quote unquote, jump very high, so he eventually gets to this point where he's sort of swimming and trying to claw at it, and he gets to the tavern, like the bar, or whatever, and sort of tumbles and rolls over it and lands on the ground on the other side. And as he lands on the other side, a female...
Can we say this is the moment the others are coming in right as that kid goes sailing by?
Yeah, like the others come in as the kid goes like Superman flying across the room. And
Silver just like stops, trying to process of what she just witnessed. I'm finding another tavern.
And as he sort of tumbles and rolls on the other side, you'll see a female dwarf from behind the bar is just, Miss, what are you doing, honey? I'm fine. That's cool. He jumps up and you see the top of his little brown scruffy hair on the other side of the bar, and he just sort of waves at you from behind it, and you can't see you. He's too short. He's like, hi, thank you. That was fun.
I'll flash him a thumbs up and wait for my friends.
And then the rest of your group continues to come in after having seen that little ending bit of that.
That was nice. I liked that.
Yep. And then Silver and the rest of the group can meet back up with you, I suppose. Unless Silver does decide to go to another tavern.
I feel like Bjorn would be like, no, he's over there.
I don't know, David
Pork roast ready and waiting in this tavern.
Yes, but did you just not see the child that flew through the air?
Seemed rather whimsical to me.
Casual scratches the back of his head, like, seems familiar to me.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So,
Get some food and drinks.
Yep. And you guys will meet back up with Skunk. Does everyone tell Skunk of what happened in the manor?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
What did I miss? Oh, before that, Bjorn, your pork roast should be here in a couple minutes once you sit down.
They ready to action.
What was that?
No.
Overlapping voices? What?
I said they ready to action.
And what did David say?
Bjorn sits down forcefully. With purpose.
It's like, this is a deliberate sit.
All right.
So, what I miss? You guys took a while. I assume something happened?
Nothing bad. We just got a bit more information on our mission.
Lay it on me.
So, and this is Oak talking. So the people that we are going to be looking for are potentially fairly straight north from Kragbluff here. Maybe a little to the west, but north. So that sort of lowers our area a little bit. Also, apparently, the people that we are, and he sort of tries to whisper it due to the crowd of people around. Also, because Skunk has the huge perception, you'll notice that the same dwarf woman that was behind the bar that had called to Mistla, she's the one that comes out and gives you your roast for Bjorn. And
Most innocent smile I can give.
You told Mistla not to say anything. Actually, let me do one of these. Okay. So you give the most innocent smile you can give.
Yes.
But you are not innocent, sir. Roll deception.
Deception. 22.
Okay. So she will sort of look you over for a second and then move on. So, Bjorn has his roast provided. And then Oak will continue, and he's so it may be these people that we are traveling to take down or deal with are potentially going to be incredibly powerful. Or at the
Pops his knuckles.
Understood.
or at least manipulative and calculated, smart. And we may be meeting another proprietor of a town, which may prove interesting to you, Skunk.
Another dragon?
I don't think he'll be...
Don't
Right.
speak that around town. The guy made it very clear.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, regardless, yeah, we had a meeting with someone, and that's what kept us. So, sorry about that.
It's all good.
And he sort of quirks an eyebrow looking at Skunk, and he's like, I do have to ask, though, did you choose to cast Fly on a child?
Yes. But I was on top of it. I asked him if he was okay with it first. I gave him pointers on how to do it, and I was ready to cast Featherfall at a moment's notice if it went awry. I'm
Good.
chaotic. I'm not irresponsible.
Why
because it was fun.
Well,
And let me tell you, that is a story that kid is never gonna forget. That is a core memory for that kid now. I just made that whole kid's month. Gonna be riding that for a while, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing.
then we find out later that Misla somehow grows up to be a dwarven warlock inspired by flight by this random kobold.
I mean, hey, Skunk would be okay with that.
It's like, cool, another hero in the world, as long as your patron isn't a dick.
Walk off in the distance. I second that.
Uh-huh. So, is there anyone...
Foggily enigmatic at worst.
Is there anything that anyone else wants to do particular while in this tavern at the moment?
Skunk does have one thing, but you first.
I think once like the conversation kind of like directs to casual at the table, so we'll actually go and sit at a bar.
Okay.
Okay. Couple minutes. And then I think Skunk will probably waddle over in that direction. Like he'll quietly excuse himself from the table and head over there.
All right.
Are there any like empty stools next to her?
Probably. Although with your high perception, Skunk, you'll pick up on, like, I imagine it would be some sort of, lots of commotion and running around going on. Why'd you roll a d10?
How many drinks she's going to be drinking that night?
Well then.
I'm saying like 10 is the max, so she's going to drink 8.
You'll hear a lot of movement from the like rooms behind the bar, like going towards the kitchen and maybe some other rooms as well. You do know that when you stepped into this tavern, it was a multi-floor inn and tavern and type thing. So
Does it sound like violence or just like someone moving around having a day?
it kind of probably sounds like someone rather small moving around very quickly.
Okay, I will ignore that for the time being.
So, yeah, with that, you guys have the tables to yourself. Young is sort of sticking by Oak at the moment.
Right.
Silver?
She doesn't turn her head. Well, she turns her head slightly enough to where you can see she's like giving him like a side-eyed look.
Can I sit next to you? I want to apologize.
I'd rather be alone.
Okay, if that's what you want. But I do want to apologize properly at some point, if you'll let me.
And if she's not currently receptive to talking, he'll walk off and give her space.
She's not really wanting to talk to anyone, really.
Yeah. After that, Skunk will probably just head for whichever room he got for that he'll be in and tuck in early.
Is he rooming with anyone?
Hmm.
Like, are we having like 3 rooms?
Oh yeah,
So-
he got rooms for everybody.
Yeah. I'm thinking what it probably wound up being is he just like got 3 rooms with 2 beds each and then just figured everyone can decide where they're gonna nap.
Ah, okay.
So he's just gonna go to the closest one and be like,
Okay, this is the one I'm in.
Yeah.
he's just gonna nest up on one of the beds and conk out.
I imagine it'd be like Bjorn and Cad, Oak and Skunk
Young and
Silver.
and Silver obviously have one, so yeah.
So
But everyone else is still downstairs and waiting to see whether or not we are summoned.
yeah. And I think since it is rather late both in game and in real life currently, I think what I'll get as an ending card for this is maybe somewhat later. I think does Bjorn and Cad stay at the bar for like a long standing of time, or do either of them retire early like Skunk did?
Not early, but not super late, probably.
Bjorn will stay up long enough to finish his meal and have a couple drinks, and then he'll be off to bed too. Nothing
Okay.
wild.
Okay. I think, yeah, I think Skunk's gonna be already up and getting ready, since he retired early. Young and Oak will probably, sort of be just starting to head up. And then our ending shot for this would be a sort of wizened, older, like even older looking than the previous one that you guys saw. A sort of wizened, almost miserly to a certain extent, dwarf will make his way into the tavern, and he'll just sort of walk up, get him a seat in the bar. I'd say probably maybe two or three seats away from where Silver is, and just
Silver will kind of like look at the guy inquisitively. Can she do detect magic?
You can.
She's going to do detect magic. What did she see with her magic eyes?
There is most definitely a what is, I don't know if it's technically illusion or this spell it specifically might be transmutation.
It's one of the two.
It would be one of the two. Let me just double check here. Doop, 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 doop.
Whatever
yes.
polymorph is.
Yes. It is shape change, or transmutation rather. Technically, it'd be polymorph or shape change or anything of the sort. Which polymorph also qualifies as transmutation. So yes, he has.
And if we leave it, I think Silver will buy a drink for the person that's sitting a few
feet away.
Yeah.
All right. So, Silver, you'll buy him a drink, and he'll sort of eye you, give you a nod, and give me a perception check.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Am I going to get higher than a 10 today?
Maybe. Rolls a nat 20. Boom. Oh.
No!
That is a 4. Okay. So we'll end on you buying a drink for this totally not a dragon person.
Yep. Just like, oh, this guy is not who he is. Let's buy a drink. Just because and see what comes of it.
So following that, we can do an end credits thing. A slightly less intense one this time, minus the dipshit.
Just pummeling that bastard.
This has been Shadows. Can be, we'll say Kenneth. And join us next time can be Sam.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Tune in next time and see whether or not we are actually about to talk to a dragon. And what kind of plans are we going to have to go find this place.